I'm your awesome super MC tonight. My name is Dan. Welcome here, out here. I'm up here right now. We've had actually some really good bands all day today. Fantastic show from everybody. But right now, I would like to introduce you to a comedian who's been on the Yuck Yucks tour. He's been banned from the David Letterman show. I just made that up. But he's actually been on the Yuck Yucks tour. Folks, I'd like to introduce David Peterson. Derek Peterson, a comedian extraordinaire, to the Rhythm on the Ridge to entertain you folks. Thank you very much.
What's going on? Woo! Wow, this is probably like the biggest show I've ever done. So, yeah. Usually in Toronto, it's just like the stage. Like this is the biggest stage I've probably been on because in Toronto, it's just like standing on two milk crates. We're standing in a corner like I'm on timeout. All right, let's start with something a little, I guess, wholesome. So a couple months ago, my brother and I took my mom to the zoo. So we ended up going there, and then all the nostalgia hit, because this is the first time I went to the zoo in like 20 years. And yeah, I always had fond memories. Like as soon as you walk into the gates, we always go right to the rhino exhibit, and you walk up, and then the rhinos won't be outside at all. So you had to go into the building. It smelled like a septic tank. And then we go in, and then there's the majestic rhino taking a dump. Yeah, and then of course, like the little dummy I am, I was always like bugging my parents for the wind-up camera. The wind-up camera, and that my grandma bought me and stuff. So she gave it to me, and I have to take a picture. So obviously, I wanted to recreate that. So yeah, as soon as I got to the zoo, I walked in, went right to the rhino exhibit. They weren't outside. And went to go walk into the building, and there's a 16-year-old standing there saying, "Rhinos need privacy too." And I was just like, "What the?" Like, you know what's really embarrassing though? Just trying to argue with a 16-year-old why you want to go in and take a picture of a rhino taking a dump. Like, yeah. But that's not even the worst part of going to the zoo nowadays. Like, you go over to like the tiger exhibit. And like when I was younger, my parents would always go over there, and the tigers or leopards and stuff would always run and hunt me down, and that was like bragging rights for them. Like they go to work the next day and see whose kid got hunted the best. So, but now people just sue. Like families would just sue that their kid was getting hunted, and also they also like to like sue for silly things too. Like a couple months ago, there was a girl who got a monkey through like their feces and urinated on her or something, and they're gonna sue for that. And I was just like, don't do that. That's like my dream. Like, yeah, it's crazy. And then there's the birds of prey show that they have. Like my younger brother and I would walk up, and we'd go in and sit down, and then they have like meat and stuff lying around, so the birds would come and hunt it. My younger brother and I would jump up, try to pull the birds down, think we're tall as hell. Yeah, and now parents just hug their kids for dear life. Like, it's so annoying. It's crazy though, because yeah, looking back on it and stuff, it's just like, it's really weird to really enjoy going to the zoo, but not for the animals, but for like families, the dysfunctional families and the people. Like, much rather go see people get like divorced, like threatening divorce and stuff. That's more entertaining. That's so sad. Crazy times we live in. But yeah, you can sort of see it too. Like at McDonald's, there was like at McDonald's, like back in the 90s, it was all colorful. They had video game stuff. Now when you go in, it's just all black and white and gray, like you're signing up for a psych ward. It's crazy. But like, I'm not the one to talk about color. I'm on the all black up here. But yeah, people just need to live a little, I think is what I'm trying to say. Because like, smoke a little weed, do it because, like, honestly, that makes things the most fun. Like, here's a good story. So a couple months ago, I went to Norway on this like huge trip, but we were in Denmark before, and I bought a whole pile of edibles, like 30, and thinking it was a great idea. And so the trip planners tried to do like polar plunges and stuff. They had 3 of them set up, and I'm like, perfect. So I ate like 6 edibles, and I was feeling really good about this because I'm Canadian and I was on a tour with Australians, so you know they're gonna complain. And we go up to the first part, which is just run on the beach and then run into the water. And I was like, I got this. And then the tour guy's like, you want to lead the charge since you're half Viking? And I'm like, hell yeah. So I go up and I'm like cocky and all ready to go. And I go to run and slip and eat shit, ate the beach, and everyone trampled me. Like, yeah. But that wasn't even the most embarrassing part of this because I ate a whole pile more and we're at the next stop, which was you run off a jetty and then you swim to a buoy and swim back. But there's a sign there saying no swimming. Now, I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm stoned, I'm a rule follower. Rules, laws, you gotta follow them all. Right? So I go and I run and jump in. I didn't swim though. I stayed there for 3 hours. The Norwegian Coast Guard had to get me. Yeah. And then the next day, we were basically at this dock where it's 8 meters up and it's like a diving board and it's 4 meters from the dock's 4 meters out of the water and I had to jump in. And so I ate the rest of my edibles because there's no way I was going to do that sober. So I go up and I was so ready. You go over and you look down and it's like just a black abyss because it's a 800-foot fjord. So I go and jump in because I decided to do a cannonball. I was thinking about pencil dive, but that, yeah, I wasn't risking that. So I go, jump in, and I end up going in the water, look up, and realize I had to swim like 20 feet up. And I totally forgot how to swim. It was brutal. Yeah, so when I swim up, I finally break through the water, and it looked like the opening of Jaws. Like that. But, so, yeah, needless to say, it's just like, yeah, you do some of that stuff, you get some fond memories, because everyone on that trip still talks to it to this day, and that was 7 years ago. It was great. But, yeah, sometimes you need a little more extra help, though, like shrooms. Yeah, shrooms are really fun. Usually I ask where the stoners and people that do this stuff on, but I know I'm in Uxbridge, so I know I don't have to ask that. So, yeah, so most people do shrooms in their house and stuff. I like to be more adventurous. So I decided to eat a whole pile and go to a party with my friends. And we ended up going there. And my friend's girlfriend really wanted us to do this art show, like this art class. It's like 4 hours long. We're like, yeah, sure, no problem. And so we were like, after the fact, we realized none of us can do art. I'm no artist at all. Like, I can't even draw stick figures correctly. So we go, we eat more shrooms, and we go to this art class. They have like a semicircle of the easels and stuff, and the paints and everything. And so we sit down trying to act sober as normal, even though that never works. So I'm sitting there, and then the person teaching starts telling me like how to paint and stuff, but I wasn't paying attention. Trying to feel how soft the paintbrushes were, taste the paint. You know, a lot of people say the blue tastes better. I gotta tell you, the red's the best. But yeah, and so as we're there, I start painting on the canvas, and I get going. I'm full on into this. Like, I'm hyper focused when I'm on shrooms. And I felt so good about myself. I got the whole back done, the texture and everything. And then I realized that my friend beside me turns to me and was just like, "Are you gonna paint more than one line?" And I look back at my canvas, it's like legit a thin line like this. I painted for 2.5 hours. Yeah. But I was a little embarrassed, but then I was looking around at my other buddies that were also on shrooms there too. And I felt really comfortable inside because my one buddy Mike, he was painting, but his paintbrush was infused in the canvas somehow. Didn't make any sense. Yeah. And then our other buddy, Dave, he was just finger painting. He didn't care. Yeah. So I got back focused and tried to do it as best I can. And so as I keep painting, I was getting real proud of myself because at the beginning they told me, think of somewhere you really want to be right now. And of course, high me was always like, I just want to be on my couch. So I'm painting my couch, I get it all done, and we go. And it's time to present. So I go up and I'm all cocky at this point. I'm like, you guys are gonna have a tough time beating this, you know? So I go up, and I go up and I start presenting. I'm like, I painted my living room couch because that's all I want to be on right now. And I turn my painting around, and instead, it's actually, everyone starts laughing, and I look at it, and it's a green circle with an orange rectangle. I was so embarrassed, but then in the end, I still have that, and it's the fond memories, right? But the best memories is when you do acid out in public. So my buddies and I decided to do acid, and we go on the TTC in Toronto. And this is the first time I've ever done acid, and I'm sitting there, I'm a little nervous because I don't know what to expect, and I see this guy holding like a little hamster. And I was like, oh, that's cute. I asked if I could pet it, and he looked at me all like shocked and scared. And I was sitting there so confused, like, why is he like that? And then I look back over, and it's actually a muffin he's eating. So, yeah. And so we go, and we didn't know what we were doing, so we decided to go to the AGO, because no one likes going to the AGO sober. So I go in, and my buddy's just like, Derek, you could like lead the tour. And I was like, hell yeah, I can. So I go and I lead this tour because I know nothing about art. And I go and we talk about these paintings, like if you lick it, it tastes really good. And if you go to the statues and stuff, like how nice it feels. But I didn't know you could get a sexual assault charge from it. That was brutal. So as the night goes on, we get kicked out. But then we went to the next best thing, and that was the ROM, the Royal Ontario Museum. And the only reason why we went there is because you could do the one thing that knocked the one thing off everyone's bucket list that everyone doesn't know they have, and that is you could go and pet the dinosaurs. And if you haven't done that, let me tell you, it's a real fun experience. A little soft, a little hard. There's a lot of beeping, but you gotta ignore that stuff. Really noisy, but yeah, it was one of like the best times. So I guess this whole set, I was just trying to make examples. You'll just need to live a little, not be as uptight now. All right, that's all I got. Thank you.
Just want to say thanks to Derek Peterson to come up here and try to put some jokes up on the stage.